Mindfulness is crucial. When someone starts to talk about mindfulness, there are tens of different definitions and theories following one another for several reasons, as you see in the cartoon over here. Why do we want to reach that state is my talk today. Why does an individual strive for this state of mindfulness? Why is that so attractive? Does that promise something magical? Maybe it does. We would see. It is so crucial to us because we are so tired of work, responsibilities, future, and then we are really bombarded by all those worries around us for future? Or is it because we are in the darkest parts of the regrets belonging to past? Physically, we might be here living, showing up that I am here, but the real question is, are we really here? This is another reason people utter when they say we need mindfulness. Even when we are saying mindfulness, we are going further from mindfulness itself, because that proves our strife. Is it because the workload is too much that we complain about, and then we need some peace? That is the magic word, peace. Isn't that what we are living for? Peace, leading us to happiness, whatever it is. But instead we have this. In order to make our lives meet the ends. But we need this. Whoever you talk to, they would express their desire to have such a gathering, do something, share the beauties or whatever they do, and read books on it. No doubt, any individual you meet at a university campus might have an idea, a piece of thought on mindfulness, because thousands of books, millions of online available links. But why don't we put all this information and theory into action? Is my question that I'm shooting today. But the actual question is quite different. I personally think that people, instead of learning in the real sense, because learning means living, learning means experiencing, learning does not mean loading our brains with tons of knowledge and information without ever applying them into our lives and practices. We all know it is wrong, but we still all do what they have. Mindfulness, in a very short, brief definition, is a state of awareness that enables us to make choices. That's it. Simple. And mindfulness is actually paying attention to what we are doing or what's going on around us and what's going on inside of us without judgment. That puts everything into practice in real life. You know, as I said, zillions of theoretical things about what mindfulness might really offer us. But why don't we really practice the knowledge? Because with the knowledge, we would create a new environment and change and transform our reactions to whatever is happening around us. And we would learn how to respond creatively in order to make our life steady. then happiness automatically follows. But instead, we have tons of things in our minds. Silencing the mind is the skill, it is the art, which is not that easy. So why are we running after this very state of mindfulness? Is it because we are all sad? Is it because the modern man is not happy, disappointed, and full of masks, wearing for each person they are in touch with, for thousands of reasons that they think they are right? Otherwise, they would be fired, they would be lonely, that person or this person wouldn't pay attention to us. Who knows? Maybe that is one reason, or maybe because of this. People unhappy, kids dying, starving. So where is this mindfulness books that thousands of millions of books are published every second on earth? So seemingly we are not reaching any point in this search of mindfulness state. Or this one. Where is this mindfulness that everybody is talking about? Where is this mindfulness that we are paying tons of money in order to be trained for this very state, so that we would show off, saying that I know what mindfulness is. I have even written a book on it. Well done. What have you done in order to put all this knowledge into practice is my concern here. Maybe it is only because of human selfishness that we really want to get to that point of mindfulness. Because that promises happiness. That promises self-satisfaction. So whatever we are doing might be done for our own happiness, and we are eating out everything offered to us, everything that are here for us and for the other living things around us to continue to preserve this life given to us as a gift. And therefore, I'm going to tell you one thing. After all the readings I've done, after all the workshops I've attended, and then after all the trainings I've received, I said too many words, superfluous words, shimmerings, glimmering, they're all around us. But where is the action? Zen attracted me in that term and said that, like Leonardo da Vinci said, we will get there soon. Why don't we put it in a simple way? Why do we define mindfulness in so many complicated words and structures that we don't even know what we are talking about when we are saying, I am receiving some education or training in this. What is this mindfulness? Tell me. It's simple. In Zen, they say that this is the art of living. So, wow, it's so general, sir. And then my master told me, which is very common, by the way, a story of a Zen master. A student goes to his master and asks, Master, would you please define us mindfulness? And he says, oh, my son, mindfulness is eating when you're hungry, sleeping when you're tired. That's simple. The student was surprised. That's simple, but that full of wisdom. Eating when hungry, sleeping when tired. Isn't it beautiful, like animals? Then, as my master said, once he told me, son, Murat, you want to know how to become a Zen master? right? Go out, observe the animals around. They are the real Zen masters. When you look into an animal, a pet, you would see in their eyes, unless they are provoked, unless they are hungry, of course, or in danger, the peace. They already reached. Maybe they are coming to this living world with that very code of mindfulness level already. Look at this Zen master. Bow in front of him. And good news, we are not alone. We are born as Zen masters, but unfortunately, we are later trained to forget all the beauties that we come to this world with. And that is one reason that people would love to get back into the what? The first state, like we were all little kids. No questions in the minds about why people do this, do that. I'm hungry, cry. Simple. I'm tired, I want to sleep, don't touch me, cry. It's enough. All right. I was talking about Leonardo da Vinci, a great man of arts. And he says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Therefore, if you would really like to know something, you need to know the subject, as Albert Einstein says. If you cannot explain a case in a simple word, like Zen masters' words, when they are defining mindfulness, eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired, then you do not know the subject you're talking about. If you're making it as complicated as possible in order to sell your knowledge for a better price, then you're nothing but a business person. So, mindfulness is easy. What we need to do is to remember. We've received so much information. Remember them. You know what is good, what is bad. Remember them. When you are making the choice, remember. Therefore, my personal definition of mindfulness is remembering. Remember what you've learned. Remember what you've been told. Remember what you've been trained for. Remember what you have in your pocket when there is a situation. Simple. Just remember. As I had earlier told you, mindfulness has been one of the main interests of mankind in the human history. And in that map, you would see 3 arrows. Those spots on Earth are very specifically chosen. One on your right side, in Australia. Probably one of the oldest surviving cultures, Australian Aborigines, dating back to over 60,000 years ago. Said something about life. Said something about why we are running after this mindfulness state. And then look at this. On the map, it is clearly seen that those 3 spots are geographically remote from one another. Quite a distance. And if you consider the ancient days, they didn't have enough transportation, right? To make this real. to communicate. It's now one click away only. But those years, just remember, I'm talking about 60,000 years ago in Australia. What did they say? There's a wonderful Aboriginal proverb. It just says, we are all visitors in this time and this place. We are just passing through. We don't belong to this world. The very purpose of our being here is to observe, to learn, to grow, to love, and then return, go back home. That very proverb is enough to understand that we do not belong to this beautiful world. And my theory is coming soon. And let's go back to Mexico, today's Mexico City. Around 60 to 80 kilometers away from Mexico City, a place called Tula, the capital city of Toltec culture. Who are those Toltecs? If you're interested, please Google. You would meet very interesting information about them. Just one is enough. Aztecs, Mayans, they all consider them their ancestors. They were wise people. And what did they do? They had agreements to make life more beautiful and happier. And they had 4 agreements, and then the 5th is something people are talking about these days. But in order to establish a personality strong enough to follow these 4 agreements, there are 3 preliminary, prerequisite masteries we need to develop. The first one is mastery of mindfulness. I'm not talking about all these masteries, don't worry. I'll skip the first and second masteries and I'll go with the third one. The third one is the mastery of intent. You need to know your intentions and you need to be your master, but especially the master of your intentions. According to Toltec civilization, being a master of your own intentions is so crucial to them because through this only could they establish good relations between the Creator and themselves. And establishing a good relationship, a close relationship between a man and the Creator, according to their belief, was so important because Creator was the only one who knew the way back home. And without Him and His guidance, they wouldn't be able to get back home. Look at this. They lived 3,300 years ago. And the Aboriginals, remember culture, in Australia lived 60,000 years ago. And then they are not telling us anything different. Let's get back to our Mesopotamian beautiful place. Someone we all know as Rumi. In Western culture, people know him as Rumi. He is believed to have lived in Anatolian Peninsula too. He spent some part of his life here. And then look at this. He lived in the 13th century, around 800 years ago. And then he is not preaching a different thing. He says that if you have a light in your heart, you can find the way back home. So that might be one reason why people really unconsciously try to reach that state, because they know in their genes there is this information written down somewhere that they will get back, and when they are going back, they need to be ready. How to get back is a question. Therefore, maybe people look for something, a door opening to road back home, and the key for that door is mindfulness. Why not? Because mindfulness means paying attention. Mindfulness means cultivating consciousness, being aware of what's going on inside of us and outside of us. If we all reached that state of mindfulness, then how would I ignore his words? How would I ignore their words? Apparently, we human beings failed to reach that consciousness level just because of one reason: selfishness. That's it. Why do you want to go home? Because you all feel safe there, secure there, happy there. We are not feeling secure enough in any hotel, no matter how many stars they have. Home is different. So that might be one reason that we are not very much happy on this earth, in this very world. And let's remember, we are all visitors in this time and place. You're just passing by. The very purpose of our existence here is to observe, to learn, to grow, and to love. And then we will all return home. Thank you very much for your patience. I wish you all a safe, happy journey back home. Thank you.